Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. This afternoon, Electoral Commission's Greater Accra Region headquarters declared a crime scene after heavily built men stormed the venue to ransack it, breaking glasses and shattering windows shortly before the resumption of collation for the Ablekuma North constituency.
From this window here has been shattered by the party supporters, including doors and other glasses. This is the entrance to the collation room.
Also coming up, security officials in Nkwanta in the Oti region in a meeting this afternoon in an effort to avert further violence following clashes yesterday, which is said to have claimed 4 lives.
Suddenly, a gunshot hit me through my window.
We're live there shortly. Also coming up, heads of senior high schools begin procuring food items following government's approval, aiming to ease the impact of the food crisis in schools.
But the money that is going to go to the heads of the school. The schools to procure. The food is not going to be procured by a centralized agency and then distributed. The dynamics have changed.
We have the latest from students from the Ashanti region who are reporting a reduction in their food served at dining halls in sports.
Hearts of Oak eye top spot in week 17 of the Ghana Premier League as they come up against defending champions FC Samatex.
Also, founder and former CEO of defunct UT Bank dismisses allegations of misappropriating funds from the bank he founded, describing the claims as baseless.
Nobody had seen any signature of mine saying move this investment. How we toiled to build UT to 8 level. How can someone say that I have stolen from UT? I mean, really, it doesn't make sense.
And later we'll take you to Malam, where there's danger on the interchange with drivers raising concerns over pothole-like damage caused by loose asphalt on the expansion joints.
My spring could break. And it's not good.
These are more coming up with me, Maame Esi Thompson. Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. And we start from the Electoral Commission. Thugs suspected to have come from the Ablekuma North constituency ransacked the collation center at the Electoral Commission's Greater Accra regional headquarters, breaking glasses and shattering windows. The incident happened shortly before the resumption of the collation for the Ablekuma North constituency, which has been in dispute since the conclusion of elections more than a month ago. The venue has now been declared a crime scene and all visitors asked to leave in the light of the security situation. James Aveji is there and filed this report, but he joins me on the line right now. James, tell us how the issue happened.
Well, so this party officials or supporters, which have today dressed in mufti, and so it has been difficult to identify which particular political party they belong to, besieged the place very early in the morning before some of us journalists arrive at the scene, and did this damage to the place before we arrive for the beginning of the process. And so that's how it happened, even before the 8 o'clock time scheduled by the EC for the coalition process, Mami.
All right, James, but do we know how these people had access to the Electoral Commission's office? We also know that that place is a security zone.
Exactly. So usually in the last few days, the police do heavy deployment with the police service, the immigration, the fire service, and other personnel to the place very early in the morning on the days of collation. I mean, when we came, we saw a handful of police officers at the place with even the police cannon parked at the entrance of the EC's premises. What I've been told by persons who witnessed the process before we came in is that the police themselves who were at the collation center had to flee for their lives when the SARS invaded the place. And so there were some police officers at the scene, but they were left helpless in the face of the chaos.
And so, what measures have the EC taken now in the light of the events that have happened?
The police have barricaded the entire building that has been used for the coalition. The room itself has been locked. They said the place is now a crime scene. The EC officials, none of them from the EC headquarters, the EC chair, the deputy chairs, and the directors of election, none of them have visited the place since morning until we got the indication from them that they have called off the process due to the security situation and a declaration of the place as a crime scene by the police.
You've also been speaking to some party supporters who are at the place. What have they been telling you?
Those are spokespersons identify themselves as the NDC supporters. They said they were not responsible for the distraction that has happened. What they are calling for now is the EC to declare Irabna Obing as winner of the election. We can listen to some of them.
Who is responsible for the distraction we saw there? Is it your party members?
We can't tell. We can't tell whoever. But then we are telling the EC, it's been long overdue. From 7th December.
Why?
A month and some weeks.
Why?
It's been long overdue. You see, the thing started from the billboard issue. I hope you remember the billboard issue with Irabna and then a free. Anywhere Irabna mounts her billboard, that is where this woman will also go and mount her billboard. Meanwhile, she's claiming she's been an MP before. So what happened?
I was told by someone that the distraction was caused by your party members. Is it true?
Unless we will leave the police to investigate that. You get it? The police should investigate.
But is it something you support to put pressure on the EC to declare?
This is what happens. I think EC is ready for this. That is why they've been.
So you support the distraction?
Whether I support or not, this is what EC wants.
And you heard there some supporters of Irabna interacting with my colleague James Aveji. Now, moving on, the District Security Council in Nkwanta and the Oti region are locked in a crunch meeting to find a solution to the conflict which resulted in clashes there yesterday. Joy News reporters on the ground observed the recovery of 4 lifeless bodies this morning. One of the victims, Naomi Foliga, said she was hit by a stray bullet while in her room.
They kept firing gunshots through my window while my 3-year-old child was sleeping, but the gunshot woke her up and she started crying. So I quickly went to her to ask her to keep quiet because her crying might attract them to us. Suddenly, a gunshot hit me through my window.
Well, let's go on the phone lines now. I speak to Adom FM's Obrimpon Wusu for the latest of what's happening there. Obrimpon, do we have any idea the cause of this clash?
Actually, for what resulted into this recent clash, we don't have any fair idea. But all that we can report is that on Monday, around 10 a.m. in the morning, there was the Muslim community, one of their members passed on. So they went to cemetery to bury him. So in the process of the burial, some unknown person attacked them with a gunshot. So that's where they all started running away and running for their lives. So after that Monday incident, nothing happened until Wednesday evening when the periodic gun shooting started. So when about 2 structures were bent down with one woman sustaining injury. So this is what that we can know. We know that for the past 5 years, Nkwanta South has not been in peace because of traditional conflict between 3 ethnic groups in the area. So one may not know what that has triggered this recent conflict that started Tuesday and then today.
So do we know what's the current situation on the ground now?
Currently, people are deserting. People are moving from the town. They are packing off. They are moving from their various places. As I speak with you, the police has also called for reinforcement from other units and from other districts. So the police are now gathering, coming in their numbers. As I speak with you, there's internal security the patrols to ensure that life and properties are safe. But as I speak with you now, people are leaving. People are really packing. If we were to be on any of our sets, you will see how people are packing their luggages and trunks, troubles, everything. They are moving out of the town for fear. I think to save their life, it's better for them to leave. So as I speak with you now, we've been on streets this morning, and I tell you, the town has been deserted.
Well, Obrimpon, we also understand there's a security meeting ongoing. Do we have any details of what's happening there?
Yes, we're just coming from the assembly that will be having a MISEC meeting at around 9 a.m. As I speak with you now, the meeting is yet to start. So we are also monitoring the situation. For whatever will come out from the meeting, we'll let our listeners know. But as I speak with you now, the meeting is yet to be started, and then we are waiting for officials for whatever directive that will be given. But all that we know is that the town is a bit calm. We cannot see or we cannot saw what the people have been doing. But all that we are picking, the intelligence we are picking is that from 2 p.m., there will be another strike in which we are all afraid of that if anything or if care is not taken, then maybe the whole situation will take into a different hand. But as I said to you now, about 3 people have been confirmed dead. 3 people have been confirmed dead. I was part of the team that went around to collect the bodies, and they've been deposited at the morgue. All
right. Thank you so much, Adom FM's Obrimpon Osu there. Well, we are also hearing that there's more military deployment, and presidential correspondent Maxwell Agbogbo joins me in studio with more. Maxwell, what's the latest?
Well, according to the acting spokesperson to the president, Felix Kwasi Ofosu, a team of police and military personnel have been deployed to restore calm. We're told also that additional troops are being sent today to reinforce efforts to enforce law and order. So that's what we are getting from the presidency, that a team of police and military personnel have been deployed to restore calm, and then additional troops have been sent today to reinforce efforts to enforce law and order. Maame Esi.
All right, thank you so much, Maxwell. We're still in the security sector, and residents of Nungua Adogono in the Greater Accra region are appealing to the police to intensify security in their neighborhood following a troubling surge in armed robberies. Many say they've lost count of the incidents, but the constant threat of being attacked or losing their valuables has left many of them living in fear. Joy News' Collins Frempong reports.
Residents of Nungua Adogono, a community in the Krowo Municipal Assembly, are living in constant fear as a wave of robberies sweeps through their neighborhood. Many have traumatic stories of attacks. Some were ambushed by unidentified assailants on motorbikes, while others have had their valuables snatched in broad daylight. A local businessman, popularly known as Chief, and other residents recounted their experiences to Joy News, describing the persistent fear that now hangs over the community.
Robberies are becoming rampant in this community. I personally experienced one where the robbers, armed with guns and knives, took all my valuables, including money.
Recently, a friend of mine went through, she was going to work. She had an afternoon shift. So she was going to work. She entered the taxi and she was seated at the front. And someone pointed a gun in the taxi on her head and told her to bring all the items that she has on her. So the money, the phone and everything.
Sometimes I stay at the down there. Because of that stealing, it always put panic in me.
The community is urgently calling on the police to intensify security measures and help restore peace and safety to their lives.
I employ the police and other agencies, security agencies, to patrol at least once in a while, during the daytime and at night.
President Mahama is calling for an enhanced Ghana-Mali cooperation on Sahel security, stressing the need for joint efforts to combat insurgency and terrorism. Speaking at a press conference following a closed-door meeting with Malian Prime Minister Abdoulaye Maiga, who was in Accra to deliver a special message from Malian President, His Excellency Assimi Goïta, Mr. Mahama stressed the importance of ensuring peace and promoting trade between the two nations.
We note what is happening in the geopolitics of our sub-region and the unfortunate situation that is unfolding in the Sahel. It is not anything that is new, but it continues to become more grave than it was in the past. And I'm talking about the issue of insurgency and terrorism. And as I told Mr. Prime Minister, in Ghana we have a proverb that if your neighbor's house is on fire, you must assist him to quench it. Otherwise, it will, when it finishes burning down his house, it will spread to yours. And so our security is a common objective, and we must work with each other to make sure that our sub-region is safe.
Well, President Malam also acknowledged the sovereign decisions of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger to form separate confederations, but stressed that despite these temporary setbacks, it remains critical to maintain strong relationships across the region.
We have noted the sovereign decisions of not only Mali but Burkina Faso and Niger to form a separate confederation. But despite that, God put us together in this sub-region for a purpose. And so we continue to intermarry, we continue to trade, we continue to have relationships that go beyond our individual countries. And so we must recognize those, and despite temporary setback that we're facing, we must continue to keep our relationships strong, and I believe that eventually we'll be able to integrate ourselves again as one body.
To education, our government has authorized heads of senior high schools to begin purchasing food items to avert shortages in senior high schools. On Thursday, the government started the distribution of nearly 140,000 bags of rice to selected schools last night, and also reached an agreement with the head teachers groupings, CHAS, to start procurement of 16 other food items currently unavailable for distribution. Dr. Clement Opak is a member of the Transition Team's Education Subcommittee.
But I know the other option that is being considered urgently is to give the schools the opportunity to be able to start procurement, even as they wait for the resources to come. So I believe very strongly that if we were to consider both arrangements, the issue can be addressed even as we wait for the funds to get to the schools. But the money that is going to go to the heads of the school. The schools to procure. The food is not going to be procured by a centralized agency and then distributed. The dynamics have changed. So the decision is that the funding will go to the heads of the schools through the Ministry of Education.
Now let's go on the phone lines now and get the updates from our correspondent. Eric Ashanti is coming to us from the Central Region. Eric, has the food reached there?
So, Maame Esi, I've been doing my checks in some schools in the KEA municipality here in the Central Region. In all of the schools that I visited, there were no signs of food being distributed. When I visited a particular school this morning, I can confirm that I saw the students having their breakfast. Preparations for lunch were already underway by the kitchen staff before I departed. While this suggests that the school has some food supplies, it's very unclear how long they would last. A reliable source from one of the schools in the municipality disclosed to me that during their food committee meeting yesterday, the head teacher hinted that going forward they will be resourced to procure their own essential food items instead of relying on the supply from the central buffer stock. So here in the Central Region, specifically the KEA district, and municipality, I beg your pardon, all the schools that I've visited are yet to receive their food supplies. But I can also confirm that there are no signs of food shortage, especially in the KEA municipality.
Well, we also understand the government granted the authority to purchase other supplies. Are the heads aware of this?
So like I indicated early on, one of the schools that I visited, and when they had their committee meeting yesterday, the head hinted that going forward, they would have that opportunity to, they'll be resourced to, procure their own essential food items. She listed a number of the food items that they'll be given the green light going forward to procure. So I can confirm from that particular school that because that is coming from the head, she is aware of the new directive.
Thank you so much, Eric. Let's head to the Bono East region. And Nasabit, what's the situation there?
Same here. All we know is that on Tuesday, 14th of this month, some 500 bags of rice brought here at the Techiman Distribution Center. And as I speak to you, they are all local rice. All the 12 schools within this area have received their local rice. But the story we brought a week ago of this school serving unbalanced diets still remain because they already had rice, but they don't have beans, they don't have maize, and they don't have vegetable cooking oil, which is a huge problem for them. They don't have flour as well, so for breakfast they are forced to take if it's rice water without bread and what have you. So this is the situation here. The schools are hoping that within the next couple of days they'll receive what is being distributed from Accra, and then some amount of money as well to take care of the perishables, which is equally a very important part of the feeding of these students.
All right, thank you so much. Anas Sabit is coming to us from the Bono East region. You're still listening to the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a breather here and return with sport, and we'll also take you to Malam, where there's danger on the interchange with drivers raising concerns over pothole-like damage caused by loose asphalt on the expansion joints.
My spring could break, and it's not good.
Abebu yourself to our
wait. Where did I? Now I don't know many just are. Obiang, what to chrome her? Ain't you want to say Petrosol for energizing drinks for motion? Hey boy.
Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you all.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
Well, welcome back to the Midday News. Juma Mubarak.
Juma Mubarak indeed.
What's for sports?
Yes, so we are 1 match day away from the end of the first round of the Ghana Premier League, which takes place this week, and Hearts of Oak, who are just 2 points behind league leaders Hearts of Lions, have the chance to secure the top spot if they beat defending champions FC Samatex at the Incenture Stadium. Elsewhere, Asante Kotoko could also go top with a victory over Nations FC. There is also a first versus third clash as Hearts of Lions take on Nations FC. Back to you.
Thank you so much. The former CEO of UT Bank, Captain Prince Kofi Amoabi, has dismissed allegations of misappropriating funds from the bank, calling the claims baseless and illogical. UT Bank was taken over by GC Bank in 2017 after the Bank of Ghana revoked its license due to severe capital impairment. The closure formed part of a broader banking sector cleanup, which also affected Capital Bank. Central Bank Governor Dr. Ernest Addison recently defended the decision, citing questionable practices by the leadership of the affected banks.
These are shareholders who were taking people's money and using it to run their own businesses. That's not banking. You don't do banking by going to take Kofi and Kwesi's money and use those resources to finance your own business. That's what most of them were doing, right? So when I give you a bank license, I'm giving you a license to take people's money.
But speaking with George Riafi on Joy News' PM Express Business Edition yesterday, former CEO of defunct UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amoabi, said the accusations do not align with the truth of his actions or the principles he upheld while leading the bank.
He said I had moved money from UT Bank to UT Holdings. Okay? I must have done it when I was CEO. But all investments have a maturity of at most 1 year. So in the 20 months that I wasn't there, every investment must have matured for the investor to review, renew, or take their monies away, or ask for rollover, or whatever. No one had complained that the investment had gone missing. Right? And then when witnesses were brought, nobody had seen any signature of mine saying move this investment. And nobody had seen me carrying money to this place. So how was it that I could move investors' monies? But those are the charges. And I've been in court, after Yoko, I've been in court for about 6 years.
Away from that, Minister Designate for Ashanti Region, Dr. Frank Amoako-Hene, is reaffirming the commitment of the NDC to boosting development in the Ashanti region. Describing President Mahama's administration as a legacy-focused, Dr. Amoako-Hene says he's poised to support the president to accomplish his vision for the Ashanti region. There's more on this report by Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
The Ashanti region is home to over 5 million inhabitants, making it the country's second most populous region. But the region has over the years been challenged with infrastructural deficits under successive governments, especially in the healthcare and trade sectors. The only biggest market in the region's capital, the Kejita market, was demolished almost a decade ago to make way for renovation into a modern trading center. After the first phase of the market's redevelopment, its second phase, which was to accommodate more of the traders, now sits uncompleted and covered in weeds. Access to quality healthcare in the region has also been a drudgery to residents, as the only modern hospital, the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital, grapples with congestion. The Sewa Regional Hospital and Aferi Military Hospital were to complement healthcare delivery to the region, but the two projects have also since not been commissioned. Following his nomination by the President, Ashanti Regional Minister Designate Dr. Frank Amoako-Hene has been outlining his priorities for the region once given the nod by Parliament.
My vision is the vision of His Excellency John Mahama. He's the one I represent. So everything in the manifesto, everything he spoke about when he got to Ashanti region, we're going to work on that. He made a strong promise that government is continuous.
Well, danger looms on the Malam interchange as loose asphalt on the expansion joints has created what drivers describe as seeming potholes on the newly constructed overpass. The exposed metallic joints are now a hazard, forcing drivers to slam on their brakes or navigate carefully to avoid damage to their vehicles. There's more in the following report.
A driver slams his brakes just in time to avoid what looks like a pothole on the freshly asphalted Malam overpass. It's not a pothole, it's an exposed expansion joint. The constant flexing of the joint has eroded the asphalt, leaving the metallic surface bare and worn. For Kofi Same, driving a massive 6x2 tractor head with a 4-axle semi-trailer, it's more than just an inconvenience. It's bad news. I was heading from Tama to Takrade. We took our time to navigate all the potholes. But after descending the overpass, I realized my shaft was broken. We have already spent over 1,200 cedis on the shaft, excluding workmanship. Sami isn't alone. Drivers using that stretch of the highway are frustrated, as the situation often leaves them with costly repairs at the fitting shop. My spring could break and my tire could puncture. It's not good. Part of my vehicle losing after using the interchange, and even after fixing, it happens again.
Michael Ashale with that report. And now let's do the trends. M&J. Hey.
KJ, huh?
You know,
JK.
you always confuse me. Is it JK or M&J?
It's a JK day today.
It's a JK day today.
Right. Yeah.
Well, let's hope we can keep J. Okay.
Well, let's see. On social media, Ablekuma North is trending number 7. On top of that are sporty stuff. But then Ablekuma North is trending because of all the brouhaha that happened today. So, yeah, Ashanti says that one result, they no collate. You know, that was what I reported. Sometimes I sit down and I think, I'm like, I actually underestimated
what really
that.
Is the problem, Jackie?
I don't even know. I don't know. But then
3 outstanding areas, we are not able to collate it.
It's serious. Steffi says that whoever lost should just concede. So people have been sharing their thoughts on the happenings in the Ablekuma North constituency on social media. Away from that,
in music, JQ and Apietus are currently trending. Listen to this.
Because these are all songs.
Yeah, these are all songs.
So, but I don't know who your favorite is, though. You know, we have JQ and Apietus.
Yeah, all my favorites. They all jam.
Yeah. The question is who has the most bangers?
That's the question on social media.
That's what is trending.
But when Apietus won, he had 57%. There was a poll on social. On one poll, yes, that's 1,000 people voted. 1,000 plus.
I mean, Apietus has been there since.
Also, you can also be part of the conversation. Just go on to Twitter and let us know who your favorite is.
And on that Apietus note, we bring the midday news to an end. I am Maame Esi Thompson.